We're back, and you're talking to Mr. Legendary. We got a boomer for y'all, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this, but that's okay because I need to make sure I say what I got to say. And before we get into anything, I want to give a shout out to Women's History Month. Apparently, there was a change. A lot of women came together and said, you know what, we need to appreciate women. Happy Women's History Month for the month of March. That's what we made it. I mean, that's what they made it. I'm going to respect it. Shout out to you. And I believe today is officially Women's Day or International Day. I honestly don't know. I don't keep up with them. I got a calendar. I don't see it, but it's neither here nor there. Happy Women's History Month. We're going to start off today's show with a post in regards to Women's History Month. As you can see on your screen, we have Mr. J Boog from B2K. He weighs in on the Michelle Obama and Zaya Wade's Women History Month interview and says this is not cool. Let's go ahead and get into his actual post that he made about it. J Boog writes, this is not cool. Very demonic. Using this child for their new agenda. Take away the man, make the woman the new man, and no more reproduction. This child shouldn't be the front runner of the movement. Sad but true. Wake up, people. This world is close to the end. It's like they creating the gateway for the kids that are coming up. Like the power of suggestion and saturation of the new human is scary. Look at the clothes for men, etc. Styles, hairstyles. Men looking more like women by the day, and women's attitude are becoming more manly by the day. I could not agree with you more. I believe this modern society that we live in is being overly feminized. And a lot of people are calling it living in your truth. And a lot of females are believing that masculinity is toxic and oppressive and that it should be done away with by giving us an abundance of feminine energy. Let's go ahead and look at some of the comments for Mr. J Boog's post. What word did he lie? Finally, someone said it. Slap in the face to the actual women who face and struggle with women's issues every single day. No shade to Zaya, but come on. There's actual women that could have had this conversation. That would have been able to empathize on another level, but okay. I agree with him 100%. Let's go to the next one. I agree. I didn't even know this interview was for Women's History Month. I thought it was just a random interview. Women's History Month should have more depth with the individuals who were born women and lived that unique lifestyle. Mind you, that is a woman. Next comment. He woke up and decided to speak straight facts. Women, I support Zaya Wade all day, but I agree he should not be representing women. Another woman said that. Next comment, he ain't said nothing wrong. Y'all got a 12-year-old boy child representing women. What the F? Another woman said that. I stand with him. Sorry, but it's the truth. I ain't here to judge, but this ain't it. Another woman said this about a transgender woman. So, let's go back to another post that we had that actually shows the when the first interview was initially talked about. And here are some of the comments from that post. It says, remember, Zaya Wade is not your child. Keep your negative opinion to yourselves. Not your child. That's all they want to keep saying, not your child. Let's keep going first. All this hate in the comments is so sad. Why does someone living their truth bother y'all so much? Weirdo behavior. Zaya slander will not be tolerated because I will drag anyone with something bad to say. To filth, literally to filth. Here go the closet little boys getting mad at her. Now it's her. It's her. Before y'all start, it's not y'all child. I hear a lot of that. It's not your child. Next comment. I feel like people need to mind their business and leave her alone. These are the comments since when she first posted the interview with Michelle Obama. I'm so proud of her. You go, baby. Her. We love to see it very much. I just watched this. Sent the claps. Weird how Zion makes people mad for no reason. Like, how y'all mad at someone who doesn't know you exist? We live in a messed up world. Oh, someone actually went against the grain on that one. Where do I stand on the Zaya Wade and Michelle Obama interview? I actually have no problem with it because at some point, women, you all decided that living in your truth was a universal thing for everyone. You decided that it specifically went out for LGBTQ community to just live in your truth, be whoever you are. We got to the point where I believe a couple years ago, I haven't researched this, but I believe a couple years ago, we made it so whatever gender you identify with, you are allowed to use that restroom. Meaning if someone comes in and they say identify as a woman, they're allowed to sit in the same bathroom in the next stall as another woman and be accepted. There are countries that have accepted women as far as being prisoners with other women. Meaning you, whatever gender you identify with, as long as you've had the procedure, I believe, you can even share a jail cell with other women. Absolutely no problem because women, you agreed on this. With Black Lives Matter, we as black people couldn't get white people to accept black people unless we had white people that said, you know what, they're still human. We love all people. We're going to accept everyone because we're still all human. We could not have gotten to the point that we are today, to the point where black people can come on YouTube, can have platforms, can become presidents without white people saying, you know what, we accept them as people. We needed that. That's not to say we needed anybody. It's just saying that in order to be accepted by people, you need those people to accept you. In order for transgenders to be accepted by women, women had to say, you know what, we accept you living your truth, which is why we got y'all sharing restrooms, y'all able to go to jail with them. Somebody said, you know what, they're women. As you see in the post, her. Some people still don't accept it, but for the majority, the reason why we have a 12-year-old transgender interviewing the First Lady of the United States for the beginning of International Women's Women's History Month is because women have accepted that. I can guarantee you, if we had a Men's History Month, you will not see young M.A. on an interview with President Obama speaking for men. I can guarantee you that because men don't accept that. Let's not get into semantics though. Let's get into our next point. My next point, I wanted to bring up a dictionary term for everyone. And we need to look at the definition of fair. The word fair, F-A-I-R. Fair is an adjective. Fair means just, equitable, impartial, unbiased, dispassionate. Objective mean free from favor toward either or any side. Fair implies a proper balance of conflicting interests. A fair decision just implies an exact following of a standard of what is right and proper. That is what fair means. So now let's transition because y'all know I'm going somewhere with this. Just hang on. But if you got this far, go ahead and hit that like button because I promise you it's about to get good. This is we had the bread. Now y'all about to get the butter. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for me. Comment if you haven't. If you got any questions, comments, concerns up to this point. And let's go ahead and get into our next point. Mississippi passes a bill banning transgender student athletes from women's teams. Mississippi passes the bill banning transgender student athletes from women's teams. Not banning transgender students from competing from, teams of the opposite sex. They ban them from competing for women's team, meaning males that transition to females can't compete with females. But females who transition to males are free to do as they please. Is that fair? I know some people looking at me like, what do you mean? Obviously, y'all have a physical component to it. So let's go ahead and get into our next slide. Let me go ahead and look at that. Okay. So let's read the post here. Mississippi legislators have passed a bill banning transgender athletes from competing on an all-female sports team in schools and universities. On Wednesday, the State House voted 81-28 to pass the Mississippi Fairness Act. After it had already passed in the state Senate last month, 34-9. Now, the bill will need to be signed by the Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves. Mississippi is the latest in a growing number of states that have sought restrictions against transgender students, athletes in school sports. As of last month, 25 states were considering these types of bills. This number had risen significantly from 18 states last year. The restrictions specifically focus on the ban of transgender women from competing in women's sports. Last year, Idaho made headlines when it became the first state to pass a law banning transgender women from participating in women's sports. However, a federal district court suspended the bill. Therefore, it was never enacted. South Dakota and Utah both failed to get similar bills passed as well. Mississippi is the first state to pass the ban through both chambers this year successfully. Here is the butter on this post. Mississippi Republican State Senator Angela Hill, who introduced both the initial transgender sports bans and the one that passed Wednesday, says that a case inspired her in Connecticut, where two transgender female high school runners won championships as part of the girls' team. Hill does not believe that this was fair. So, transgender females who we've legally made it okay for them to call themselves females aren't allowed to compete with females because it's not fair. But we told them that they're females. So why ain't it fair? Because of the physical, right? It's the physical. Because basically what they're telling me is men are faster, stronger than most women. Could not agree more. Let's make it fair and make it to where they can't compete physically. I couldn't agree more. But we should have thought about this when we was making all these laws saying, you know what, living your truth. We should have thought about this when we were saying, you know what, you can go to jail with us. You can even share the same stall in a bathroom with us, but you can't compete with us in sports. You can call yourself a girl and live in your truth, But that stops when it comes to competition. Now it's no, 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 no. Let's check out some of the comments. First comment, of course, is mine. Transgender women are allowed to share bathrooms with women. We've already heard this, blah, blah, blah. But cannot compete with women, even in beauty pageants. This is really nuts, man. And women are the ones screaming for equality. I think this is appropriate because it's male physicality against the women's, and that is no competitive match. Again, acknowledging that men and women are different. I agree. Next comment. They can start their own league. Nothing wrong with that. Seems pretty fair. Next comment. I support this all for all people's rights, but this wasn't fair on the athletic field. This fair word. Whew, I'm glad we got the definition. It's not transphobic to agree with this decision. Again, what does fair mean? Fair implies a proper balance. A proper balance. Oh, wait a minute. A proper balance on conflicting interest. A fair decision just implies an exact following of a standard of what is right and proper. Meaning, since these men who've transitioned to female are still biologically male, therefore stronger and faster, it's fair that they are not allowed to compete with women in a physical competition. I'm here with you. But I'm not the one who told them that to live in their truth. I'm not the one who told them that you're allowed to be her. Because somebody's going to have to explain this to 12-year-olds like, wait, that hey, live in your truth, leave her alone, you're somebody's child, but you're not allowed to compete with us. You still got to go over there and compete with men. So now she's sitting there looking stuck. Like, y'all told me I was a girl, but I can't compete with the girls. So I'm just not allowed to play sports at all because I'm taking hormones and stuff to be a female, so probably can't compete with the men no more. But I can't compete with y'all either because I'm still strong and biologically a male. Somebody got to tell her that. But that's not my child, so I'm not going to tell her. One of y'all going to have to tell her because I didn't pass the law. I didn't vote on this law. But it still goes deeper because women aren't satisfied with this being the end all be all. This would kind of be fair, but again, y'all created this. I'm not going to say created this monster, but y'all created this scenario yourself by telling everybody to live in their truth, be who you are. If you believe you're a female, be a female and be accepted by females. Y'all did this. And then y'all took it a step further. And of course, this will continue because we're literally fighting a gender war, whether you know it or not. There's a war going on between masculinity and femininity. And I don't know who's winning. I don't know. I can honestly say I will believe that femininity is winning. I've never seen so many men who are open to so much feminine things in my lifetime. I was raised different. I believe I'm Generation X. We were the last of the, boys don't cry generation, brush it off. We were the last of that breed. And now we're teaching boys, it's okay to cry. It's okay to, bump your knee. It's okay not to even play sports. It's okay to just be living your truth and be who you are. If you want to be a girl, if you want to paint your nails like the girls, go right ahead. That's the generation now. So this brings me to my last and most startling post. You always gotta save the best for last. This one is the kicker, I should say. And let's just close my window down here. But this one is definitely the kicker. I don't even know how to tell you all this, but a federal judge rules United States of America Miss Pageant can ban trans competitors from a pageant. A beauty pageant. We have now told transgender women to live in your truth. Be a woman. Come sit next to us in a stall. Come sit next to us in a jail. Make people call you by the proper pronoun by using her. But do not come to our sporting events and try to compete with us as women. You cannot. We don't care what you do. Go get your own thing. But you can't compete with us. And then we tell them, you know what? That still ain't enough. We get it. You're physically stronger than us, so you shouldn't be able to compete in the physical competition. We get it. But we're not satisfied with that. We're going to take it a step further and say that you, transgender female, can't even compete in a beauty competition against other women where there's absolutely no physical advantage. Absolutely none. It's literally based on looks. And we don't even want you to even be able to compete in it. You can't even try to challenge our beauty. I want to know how everyone reading this would feel if men had a brain competition of smarts and they said we're going to call it a brain competition where it's literally based on the smartest person, and men said we don't want women competing in our competition about brains, about something that we all universally have. We don't want women competing there. This world would go crazy. Absolutely nuts. And this just gave me an idea to go on my Instagram and ask that question about how would y'all feel. Before I'm posting this video tonight, so I think I'm going to go on Instagram and make that post and say I'm going to start a men's competition where it's just based on brains and we don't want women to compete. I want to see the reactions I get. But before that, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments and read the actual post. The federal judge ruled United States of America Miss Pageant can ban trans competitors even as the House passed the equality bill on LGBTQ rights. First comment, female, good. We're good. The next comment, I don't understand what he was trying to say, but let's go to the one after that. To be fair, they can make a pageant to cater to them. Like Miss Black America, Latin America, and hell, even drag queens have a pageant. The problem with your comment is all of those other subsidiary pageants can still compete in the Miss America pageant as long as they're from America. They can still compete. That's the word. You can still try. But, we're going to also make another pageant for just us Black Americans, and we're going to make one for just Latin Americans. But we can still compete in the Miss America one as long as we're from America. But y'all made it to where they can identify as women, but they still can't even compete with women in a beauty contest. Next comment. I mean, they're really trying to take away everything. Like, seriously. Who's trying to take away? Who did this? Who accepted them into your space? This is your space as women. You told transgender females, men, transitioning to be females, that, hey, we love you, we accept you, and then you get mad because you claim that they trying to take over everything? That's fair. This is equality. This is what y'all asked for. Let's go to the next comments. Good. I love the LGBTQ community. But whenever you start with a but, it's gonna go bad. But I do think it's better for trans to have their own division in things like sports, pageants, etc. Because there is just so many things now. Binary, pans, trans, gay, etc. Like if women want to be in the women, men want to be in the men, then okay. But it's some trans want to be in women. In women men department, that's fine too. But for everyone to have their own division as well makes no sense. That you don't even know. That comment is sad because they don't even know how to even argue the point that they're trying to make, because they're arguing with emotions and not with actual facts, data, statistics. How can you tell someone that you can't compete in a beauty competition that's supposed to be universal? It's about beauty. It's about beauty. It's so bad that y'all gonna make it a law. Y'all had to go to the legal ramifications of it. It's not good enough to just have somebody at the competition going through like, no, we're just not gonna take this. No, y'all made it to where you can't even compete in the thing legally. Was it really that bad? Did y'all really create? Y'all. Let's get back to the comments. Respectfully, I agree with this. All they have to do is create a competition specifically for LGBT. Problem solved. Good. Maybe they should start creating their own platform and have Miss Trans America. Again, that's not the point. They should be able to have that, and they should be able to compete with it all. Next comment. Of course they should. I'm happy they did. Nothing against trans, but this was overreaching. Next comment. Good, because these men are getting out of hand. Again, when it fits the narrative, we call transgender women him, he, men. But when we want to support and we want to just jump on a bandwagon, it's her. It's good for her. Leave her alone. Living your truth. This is why there only should be one universal truth and not the truth that bends to the will of whatever you're feeling at the moment. Because at this moment, it's not her anymore. It's he. Let's go back to the comments. Good. Let the women have what's for them. Again, with the, nope, this is for women. But y'all told them they were women. Last comment. As they should. It's when people miss the Mrs. part for me. I believe that I'm a feminist because I'm pro-choice. I believe that we all, as people, and I tell this to some of my clients that I do life coaching sessions on. Please, if you need a life coaching session, feel free. I do the first consultation is free. Then we charge. You can hit me up in my email, DM anything, and contact me about those. But I tell my clients, do what you want, but be prepared for what comes next. Always. Do what you want. And women decided that we want people to live in their truth. That is a women-made statement. No man came up with that. We were fine how we were. And women said, no, we're not fine with that. We want people to live in your truth. And they took that over to trans. They took that over to promiscuity. They took that over to being masculine. They said, you know what? Be however you want to be. And that brought about trans women competing with women. And then women saying, no mas. You can't do that. That's not your truth. You just told them to live in their truth. That's not their truth. This is how we gonna start off Women's History Month with shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Feel free to drop a comment, speak your mind. Tell me where I was right, tell me where I was wrong. Just remember, over here, we argue facts, not emotions. And I'm out.